Welcome. Thank you for joining me for a weekly energy tune in. We're going to go ahead and use some tarot and oracle cards to go ahead and just see what's going on for the collective. It was really interesting too because I'm recording this on Monday for the week ahead. Yesterday morning, kind of in a dream state, early meditative thing, at like 5 a.m., I was getting this very vivid imagery and I was being told it was related to kind of wanting to do the tune in. And I had this imagery of, well, I'll just go ahead and show you actually. So it's this shape, like an upside down kind of triangle, but it was very wispy and it actually had a lot of like lined texture, like a rock would, but it felt almost hazy or holographic even. And it was telling me like there's one layer of what this week will be that's going to be very streamlined. And so it was speaking to things running smooth, but they could also sort of run together. And then the bottom part really was feeling like Wednesday, Thursday-ish timing. So very midweek even, like there's something there where for some it felt like it was going to be heavy. For others, it's about something coming to a point. Like it really was strong there. So if you're in the States, that could make a lot of sense because Thursday will be Thanksgiving holiday. But even if you're not, if you are still part of this collective and this is resonating, you felt called to click here and join in this little moment of space, it feels relevant as well. Like there's another reason this could be happening. I do want to reiterate as well, like the whole week doesn't feel this way. It's just midweek that there's something here. And the wispiness afterwards from this imagery was letting me know it almost was like aspects of your timeline are still settling in, so to speak. So it's still malleable. And this isn't even like it's going to be, like this is meant to be fear-based where there's a lot of drama, but it just feels like there's something coming to a point, a little bit of something coming to a head. So if you are manifesting, keep diligent on your strategies with the fact that this is coming through. And if you haven't, it's even saying to look at what you would like to shift because there's something about this timing. So let's go ahead and actually get to some cards to sort of help get a better understanding. All right, I'm also getting this message through of like you might have to trim the fat on a project. Oh, moon in reverse. That's telling me a few things right now. One of which being someone could be kind of hiding something. This feels like that shadow aspect of the actual tarot card for the moon where it's the subconscious and something's not coming to light. Solar flares with activate. I really love this because we've been having a very massive, we just had one of our biggest ones, at least for the year. I know that, the solar activity has been crazy and it's even been ramped up the past few weeks if you're catching this pretty close to when I'm posting. And so this feels important for you. It's not my world of expertise, but I definitely believe that these solar flares have an actual activation that happens, not just even the symbolic version of it. But if for you it's just symbolic, like there's something right now that has a lot of charged energy to it, ready to kickstart. So it's interesting if we think back to the imagery too, because it's kind of asking you, like, if you're not working on manifesting right now, it's really quick for that to start to kick in. Like the energy is charged for it if you do. And Pluto, rebirth, heavy card. And I was feeling heavy from that kind of imagery with the upside down triangle or pyramid shape. It really didn't feel like a pyramid though. And I think that says something as well, because a pyramid being three-dimensional would have those four legs to bring stability. And this doesn't. And this even, I said, kind of holographic. So it feels like whatever's coming through right now, you could be manifesting, we've talked about. But if you are, you're still in that ethereal aspect of it. And if not, it's because this is much more of an internal rebirth that's kind of going on. And that's why it's not a tangible something that you're working through right now. But what I love about the rebirth card and Pluto is that through this transformation and through this death, there's something brighter on the other side. And so that feels like what's coming through with that lighter, wispier energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull out some tarot to get a little more specific. We have strength to clarify the moon. This is letting you know you have the strength to face whatever comes to light. It could be with death and rebirth, it's yourself. There's something about yourself that needs to come to the surface right now. That could even be the activating energy. You know, if we are talking about something where there's other people involved, it's like maybe something needs to be revealed, and it's the death of the old you while the new you is visible and is public, not loudly, unless that's where you're called to be, but it's more of about being you, take it or leave it kind of mentality. Not aggressively, not in a way where you want to change someone else, but just take it or leave it. I'm going to actually stand in my own energy. So a clarifier for solar flares. King of Cups. Ooh, that's totally that energy though. Comfortable with self, willing to own it, not looking outside for validation. That is totally what that is. I do want one more on the moon, actually. Oh, wow, we do have, and we have the Tower. This is essentially the Pluto and Rebirth card. Well, Death would really be this card, but they're very similar energies because something's got to come down. It feels like what's not being seen is that there's a structure based on, the structure can't build in a stable manner while you're operating from this essentially inauthentic place. And there's no shame. This isn't meant to be judgmental, but that's essentially how this feels. Like you're not in your full authentic vibe. So it's not creating a stable foundation, and that's going to come crashing down if you don't revisit it. It's interesting because I keep wanting to make it like and understand if there's like, it feels like there's something else at another layer, but I really can't tap into it right now. Two of Swords, something unseen. Yeah, there's something else maybe here. If this isn't resonating for you, then that's okay. That's not for you. These are making me think of Odin's two birds. And my brain's going blank, which is fine. That's not really the headspace I want to be in when I do a reading for you either. But it's like my mind is going blank, but for some reason I want to say that and leave it there. And again, with the moon being things that are hidden and staying hidden, there's another way to uncover that. I don't know. So we're going to leave that be. And maybe something else will come out of that in another reading for you. Okay, so let's keep going and go back here because I really like this whole activation thing. And it's about forward progress because I really do want to focus on like not getting stuck on, oh, Wednesday, Thursday, there's something weird. And it might not be loud or dramatic. It's just like it might be an internal activation. You feel this way. And it's a very subtle rebirth, but it's just where you are. Again, it could be something else. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Like I kept wanting to tap into other people and it's like, nope, come back to here. This is more about your inner state. So this might be very subtle and not playing out with others. If anything, it could be maybe you notice you react differently, if at all, to someone else. And look at that. So we have the Ace of Cups and the Sun. Now the Sun is thought of as the best card in the deck. It is full abundance, joy. If you're looking at a situation, a positive outcome, it's a win, it's a yes to something. And then we have the Ace of Cups, which is a card of open heart. So I love this. The transition of going from the moon in the shadow, where something isn't revealed, to now we're in the sun. This is you standing in your authenticity. And part of your authentic vibe is being able to connect with your heart space. Being open, maybe not blasted open, where you're going to invite more than you should, or the things that you shouldn't. Like it feels like you probably would still have a filter. But you've blasted open your heart space in a sense, where your heart chakra is operating strongly, I guess is how I want to say. The verbiage is weird on this one. Um, but yeah, this is your rebirth. That is absolutely beautiful. I do want to go ahead and get one more about what is running smooth for you. I want a card on that streamlined. The death and rebirth is streamlined. That's really cool. So again, I think that's why I'm not feeling like this dramatic something loud happening. It's a very internal process. And it's more of those like subtle epiphanies where you just realize that's where you are now. And the Nine of Wands is about boundaries. That's exactly where we were before, too. What's streamlined is you being able to do this while holding your boundaries. That's what you have the capacity to do. It is interesting, though, because I feel like if I look back at my notes, it was kind of also this idea of what's blending or running together. You're probably going to have a streamlined opportunity to implement these boundaries, and now it's what you do with them, and maybe even when which boundaries need to be super strong versus, again, that quieter stance of just, yep, this is me. Protecting without being loud is an interesting dynamic coming through. I really like this reading the way it turned out. It was interesting because at first, when I was getting that imagery, I mean, it was really vivid, and I was sitting in the feelings so much differently than even right now, trying to tap in. But this is making it feel a lot more forward moving, which is really great because it's been about your growth. And like everything, there's more layers, you know? I mean, be wary of anyone who says anything about being fully healed. So there's layers, like always, but this is very much you stepping into a new version of yourself. And it's funny because before, when I was kind of starting here, I kept feeling change. And the number 50 was standing out. The root chakra was also standing out to me with some of the imagery, not in the cards, just other things as I was tuning in. And I think that's part of it, is you feeling safe to do this now too, or to just like, you're going to feel safer in this space. Back to those foundations, which is very important because that's what helps you get out of survival mode if you're feeling that way, or if you have been. It's a big difference living from survival mode and living in the root chakra compared to living in the heart chakra and living from the heart space. That is majorly different. So thank you very much for joining me. If this resonated, whatever part did, I'd love to hear from you in whichever way that is. So go ahead and share that below, and I hope to see you again next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.